Hello, everybody, on this Monday night. So you thought y'all just had us on Saturday nights. You never know when I'm going to jump on. I've been pretty popular here lately. I've had a lot of people say my name, so I thought, hell, I better go on and not let everybody down since they're talking about me so much. They got to be missing me, right? So I didn't want to let them down and them not to be able to see me tonight. And we got some breaking news tonight too, guys. We're going to go over. So we do have something important to talk about. Uh, Looks like we got a lot of people in here already. It's good to see everybody. I hope everybody's missing the storms tonight for sure and everybody's safe. I'm going to go ahead and throw Brooks in here because I don't want to get in trouble alone. That's never no fun. You always want to have, somebody with you. If you're going to get in trouble with somebody.
Yeah, I'm your trouble buddy, right?
Whoop, our screen's going crazy today. There we go.
Yeah.
It's not used to us coming on Monday nights. My
Yeah.
computer's even, it doesn't know what's going on. Oh man, it's been a crazy day. I'm still soaked in sweat. We got storms coming, so we've been outside, tying everything down. I got the boat moved, got it strapped down and fixed for the water to run out of it. And we had a really pretty sunset earlier. You should have saw the sky. It was like what color was it? You think, Mom? Like a peach, kind of a yellow. It's going to be in the video I'm dropping tomorrow on Wide Open Adventures on our other channel. I actually went out and videoed the sky because the sunset was beautiful. I mean, it was actually, I don't think I've ever seen colors like that. It was pretty, so I had to go out and videotape it. And since I videotaped it, it'll be perfect, so y'all won't miss nothing. I only use high quality camera systems and stuff like that because that's all we use around here is the best. Yeah, Brooks has got a fan in the house.
Thank you, Therese.
I was afraid to say her name first. I was afraid I'd mess it up.
Kaylee's in moderating.
Wow.
Glad to see you,
Well,
Kaylee.
I ought to take my camera back out there. We might just have monkeys flying. I don't know. I might have picked a bad night to go live, guys. I might really get us all in trouble tonight because I feel good on a Monday. Been doing a lot of work today on the channel for sure. We got a video that dropped today at 7 o'clock. I want to thank each and every one of you that's been watching that video. Y'all have really been kicking butt lately. That video right now is still trending because of all you guys, and y'all are hitting that like button a lot more. So, man, we really appreciate that because this channel is you guys, and if you guys don't watch it and you don't hit the like button, I'm not going to do videos because I can't afford to do this studio and videos and not get likes on it. So, I'll have to stop coming on twice a week. We'll have to get rid of Mondays. But just joking. Hey,
Oh,
there's Brittany. I guess I'll go ahead and tell everybody about her. I believe Brittany, guys, is going to be one of our new moderators. She's going to be new, and she's really mean. She don't like people that much, so she'll probably be booting a lot of people. So,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
nah, she's actually really nice. She'll probably be one of the nicer moderators, honestly. Because Brooks always, you guys don't see the behind the scenes stuff, the moderator chat and stuff, because Brooks is telling me, Mike, because I really would probably get in trouble because sometimes I'm just like, you know what? But I don't do it. I try
Yeah,
not to.
I have to keep you in line for sure.
I think probably the worst one on the team would be Scott. Hey,
Yeah,
Q-Bot, good to see you.
definitely.
Haven't seen you in a long time. It's always good to see you. Haven't
Hey,
seen Q-Bot
Cupid.
in a while.
Yeah.
Every time I see Q-Bot, the first thing I think of, I don't know why, is pool. I guess because Q, maybe. I think of the Q, and it always reminds me of shooting pool. I haven't shot pool in a long time, though. Hey, Brittany, good to see you. I had to razz you a little bit, Brittany. But yeah, it's super humid here today in Oklahoma. You know that old boy up in Oklahoma. He said it's humid.
Well, the wind blew like a bat here today, so
Wow.
that wasn't fun. But
Uh-oh.
there was no dirt back from the Texas Panhandle. It was wind and dirt. It was. I'll take this wind here any day.
Right. Brittany says she's super nice not to listen to me, and I guess I should call out some people. I haven't done roll call either. I got ahead of myself coming in on a Monday. We got let's see, we got Brittany moderating tonight. We got Scott moderating tonight. We got Brooks is moderating and co-hosting tonight. We've got Kaylee probably bouncing in and out. I'm not sure what she's doing. We've got let's see, Tracy will be resting tonight. She had to work, so we understand that. She well, we'll let her off with one tonight. We'll give her a warning on this one, a written warning. The next one will have to be a write-up. Let's see. She said they used to call us Russian bots, so my name is Susan and my nickname was Q, so I took the name Qbot. Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So we've got, let's see, we got Silver Bullet in here tonight. We got Lisa, we got Qbot, we got Margie, we got Jim F, we got Scott B. He said we had a coral snake a few weeks back. It was the prettiest I've ever seen. We left it alone pretty much. Yeah, I'm not going to say what I would have done to it. I don't like snakes. They cause me to hurt myself.
Me too.
Susan says her neck was out. Let's see, my neck was out, but I have eaten hush puppies and okra. Gosh, that sounds good.
Oh yeah. I love hush puppies.
Hey, we got Thomas Dove in here tonight, or Dove. Make sure I get that right. Yeah, because I'll butcher your name. I'm good at that.
Oh, congratulations, Thomas.
Yeah, congratulations. Yep.
That's awesome.
That's a good number, a good goal, and it's worth something definitely working on. Just keep doing it, because it will be completely worth it, man. It will pay off each and every day.
Absolutely. And I'm working on it, Scott. He said for me to do boots on the ground when the weather straightens out. I'm going to go out here in the forest by myself.
Oh, and Thomas said it's dove like a bird. So yeah, I did butcher it the first time. A lot of you may not know this. In the videos, there's a fireplace and there's a barrel that's burning a fire. Those are actually given to me by Brooks and Scott. Those are actual videos that we're using for the backgrounds. And I was going to tell y'all, and since I'm doing this, it'll probably give my adversary ideas too, because he's doing about everything I am. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to record actual backgrounds for our videos, I think. And that way we're not using AI backgrounds. We're using actual backgrounds. I think that would be really cool to be able to do that. Because it's not just, an animated background, because our people are real, and we'll be using real stuff. And we don't buy our stuff here. It's real.
Yeah. Hey, I can give you one of the Rio Ruidoso River. Matter of fact, I have one. I have a video of the river flowing, and it's on the Mescalero Apache Reservation.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me to say it, but if it's pretty, I'll put it on there. We got Journeys. Yeah, I'm probably going to butcher it. Alkebulan.
Good try. I'm not topping that one.
I'm trying. We got OC Night Flyer in here. We got Lily Lewis in here tonight. Sharon Guy. Sig 1212's in here tonight. I wonder if is Sig after the gun, or is that a nickname or something? I love Sigs. They are a good gun. Thomas, we're a family here. You are loved. Oh yeah, everybody is welcomed here. We are family here. We like to have our chat safe. Everybody, feel free to share your encounters and everything. if people get out of line, Scott will ban them before their message hits the board. He will take care of it.
Scott's fast. Yeah.
OC Night Flyer said, "What? I had no idea there was all this recovery here. I found my people." Yeah, we're a family here. We all try to get together and have at least have a good time, and we do talk serious. We like to start the show out though, kind of, I guess, chit chatting with everybody and kind of give a few people a little bit of trouble. We got Mickey Thomas here. He says hello from Arkansas. I love Arkansas. Arkansas is a beautiful state.
Yeah, and we're all human here. We all make mistakes. Nobody's
Yeah, there's
perfect.
no AI
Anyway,
here. Everything
yeah.
here is real people. Real people.
Yes.
This is the realest show on here.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I have been here for a minute, going on a year, but I work way too much. Yeah, Lily, a lot of people have to work a lot right now just to survive. And then you don't even survive.
Mm-mm.
That's the hard thing. We got Lori C here. She is a subscriber. We got Brittany popped up again. She's a subscriber. She's the mean one we have to watch. Now we got a mean man, Scott, and we got a mean woman, Brittany. So we shouldn't have any trouble now.
Thank you, Lily. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Lily. God bless you for that. But yeah, we're just we got some good information tonight, and I was going to wait until next week, and then I told Brooks, I said I don't think I can wait with everything that's coming out. We covered the story first in the cryptic world, and I did not want somebody to beat me to it because we know that's been done before, and I wanted to put it out while we had it. There's something else I was going to say. Oh, I wanted to congratulate everybody on the channel. We have reached 25,250 already.
Yes.
It's raising really fast. All of our stuff is in the green for us rising. The Lost Cryptids Conservatory is in here tonight. Good to see you. But yeah, we're the channel's going up really fast. All the videos are trending. We're growing fast. Wide Open Adventures is growing. It's all in the green now. I look for that channel to explode. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of time before it hits the algorithm. Let's see, what else was there? Yeah, I must have been pretty special today because I don't get talked about a lot by other channels. I pretty much do my own thing. But the Red Circle King, he brought me up in his car ride. He was with his brother, I think, or husband or something. I couldn't tell. It was some dude with long hair. And I think they was heading to like the Golden Bear or something to go celebrate and dance. But he was giving me a shout out the other day, and he gave me a shout out today. So I want to thank him for that. Really nice of him to think about me every day and to give me some airtime. I appreciate that.
Yeah, isn't that's the Christian thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah,
plugging us. Yeah.
Yeah, he's real Christian over there. I mean, he's got all these magical crystals, and he smells the cow poop around him. That way he's protected and everything. So I mean, he's got it going over there. He's really safe. I guess I didn't know this, but evidently spirits can smell because he's using the smell of cow shit, I guess, to keep them away from him. I guess that works. I'm not sure, but whatever works for him, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean,
everybody, we just have to laugh at their lies that they put out. It's just unbelievable.
Oh yeah. They said that I said that I didn't want peace. He never wanted peace. Well, if they would have listened to me, they'd have knew what I said. I said We tried peace. It didn't work. They don't have peace to give because you can't get peace from a heathen. So
Yeah.
I'm just not attacking them. I'm just leaving them alone because they're not worth my time. But I do like to
Yeah.
laugh at them a little bit. It makes my night go by a little better. Lily Lewis says, I've
Mike
been
has a
through.
gift.
It's a special one. And it's not lighting poop every night, putting it around my head.
No.
You know, he's been griping about he can't breathe and he's been coughing a lot and stuff. Maybe slow down on burning the shit, and it might help. I don't know because that can't be good for you smelling that all the time. Just I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to smell that all the time. Lily Lewis says, "I've been through what you've been through, going with your son, and it's a soul sucking process. So I had to show you and your family some love, blessings and
Thank you,
prayers."
Lily.
Yeah, thank you, Lily. I'm under real
God,
strict.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm under real strict. I can't talk a lot about it because of things that is happening right now because we're going forward with a few things. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's very difficult whenever you have so much evil come against you with so many lies. But I'm confident that it's all going to be okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, same. I know. I'm sure everybody's heard about the mother and the uh, appointed supervisor of the two women that got killed in Oklahoma. It's just horrible.
I heard
And
a little bit about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the allegations against the mother's brother, that's their go-to thing. These people.
If you
It's
look at it, like what me and you was talking about today, and prayers to both families in that,
absolutely
nothing is ever worth somebody's life.
no.
Uh, but that seems to be the go-to thing because they know that it's the easiest way to get what you want. And
Yes.
there's a gentleman, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to make him mad. I don't think he likes me very much, but I just want him to know he's across the pond, and he was attacked and called these bad things, and
Yeah.
it has made him suicidal. He said it himself. Uh,
It's horrible. It's
you know,
horrible
he
what
was.
these people are doing.
It is. It's terrible. And as much as he attacked me, and he helped spread some of that on me when it first came out,
Hmm.
but he doesn't deserve that either. You know,
No.
nobody deserves them kind of lies on them, and it's sad that these evil people resort to this. But they know that's how you get your way at first. But
Hmm.
also, there is the opposite of that whenever things are. But yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, yeah, Mindy, prayers for all of them. It's
Yeah.
sad.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Um, yes, Ellen, he did. Yeah, he helped spread a lot of things on me, and
Hmm.
it was bad what he done. But still, even him, he doesn't deserve what they're doing to him because I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And if you have to resort to going that low to attack somebody, I mean that's pretty sad because I've been getting information, after all this has fell apart that people's been sending me. They've been sending me like today. I got 4 emails of actual voice conversations that were sent to me today where I guess nobody in their clan, their cult, I guess trusted each other because they were all recording each other and screenshotting everything. So now that they're all fighting, they're sending me recordings of people I know personally, not just from the cryptic world, that were talking, saying really bad things, trying to set
Yeah.
me up.
Yeah.
And they're sending me
Yeah.
all this, and I'm like, my God, I had no idea that was going on. And I'm just giving
Hmm.
it to the appropriate people, and they will do with it
Yeah.
what needs to be done. and I'm appreciative of what people are sending me. It's going to be very helpful because I mean, you can't lie when it's your voice, right? If your voice recorded, I mean, it's pretty much you.
Yeah,
It's sad. It's sad the length that they'll go to.
it is. They're deranged people.
It's just to bring somebody down, because they might be
Yeah.
gaining numbers, or you know, they might, I don't know, might get some of your what you
Or,
think will be your super chats. He's getting some of my money. We got to calm him down.
yeah,
That's right, Scott B. Leave me and my family alone.
that's right.
If I have to, I'll get up here and start crying and beating on my desk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just show everybody how mental, and I think a lot of it is mental.
It is.
I felt terrible today. I mean, you can actually talk to these people and mess with them, and they'll sit there and answer you and have no idea what's going on. It's sad. I mean, it's just it's sad. And I was under my name. They all say I use fake accounts. I was like, how long till he blocks me? I was like, why is he answering me? He had no idea.
Yeah. After he
I guess
bashed
it
the
is
crap out of you. Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. Wait, we have to
Whatever.
wait.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
get
we're
that sage going.
get my crystals and all 20 of my necklaces.
And your smudge stick.
Yeah. Oh man. Hello, sister in Christ, Chrissy. Good to see you. Hello, Jesse Parker.
No, we're getting ready to talk about it, sister in
Yep,
Christ. Yeah.
we're getting at it right now. Uh, Riker Webb, guys, the little boy that I covered here a while back. Um, there's been a few developments that's been released about him, and some of it's been leaked. Uh, that case has kind of always intrigued me. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and catch everybody up that's not real familiar with the case. It says the 3-year-old boy who was lost in Montana wilderness for 2 days, then miraculously found safe, has been the subject of intense internet attention after a photo of him looking shell shocked after his rescue circulated. He survived by seeking shelter in a shed, an official told Today during the interview. He was very, very scared, Lincoln County Sheriff Darren Short said in a phone call. Nothing that mountain lions and bears inhabit the area. He should not have made it as long as he did. There were also severe thunderstorms in the evening. Riker went missing with temperatures dropping into the 40s. The shed where he took shelter was a very old log cabin type structure, Short said. The red-headed toddler was discovered by a family that was checking on their cabin. They heard a little boy's voice from the shed out back where they keep the generator. Short said, so they went to the shed, and there he was. When Short arrived on the scene, he said Riker was visibly shaken. After his rescue in June of 2022, Riker was taken to Cabinet Peaks Medical Center for evaluation and was discharged in good health. The case remains open, Short said, and they do not plan on closing the case anytime soon.
Yeah.
So you got a 3-year-old lost in the woods for 2 days. You got heavy thunderstorms, temperatures dropping down into the 40s, which is easy hypothermia. So I don't think he was alone.
No.
I think he had something or someone with him from the very beginning, because
Yes.
even the the rescue worker said that for a seasoned survivalist to be able to survive in those conditions would have been hard.
Yeah.
And you're talking about just a little bitty boy.
Do you have the picture comparison?
I have it on a video that I'm gonna play here in a little bit. It
Okay.
shows. See his mom from what they're leaking, and I think this is really weird too. His mom is actually having trouble accepting Riker back, and that's where
Mm,
it gets really weird. Uh, we'll get into that here in a minute. It gets really freaky, guys. I mean, the more I was reading about this, the more it really started messing with me, because I mean, this gets downright almost just sadistic. Uh,
yeah.
there was a lot of things happened when this little boy went missing that I didn't even know that had happened. I have a report here where the nurse that was in the hospital, she actually leaked some of the information. Uh, these are the kind of cases I used to like to do before I had to go to court. I like looking into cases and investigating them. That's what I used to do, is investigate. And today I decided to do this, get my mind off of the other stuff that's going on. And I found a lot of interesting things. Another weird thing about Riker is whenever Riker was found, he was found wearing different clothes, not the ones he was wearing whenever he went missing.
Hmm.
Riker's parents said that he was always a very happy boy, and that getting lost in the woods has taken his light away. They say he is a very different child now. He doesn't express himself as being happy, laughing, uh, being excited about things. They said he used to couldn't wait to play with his toys. He would watch his cartoons and he would act out with his cartoons, sing along with them. He would watch them over and over so he knew what they were going to say. So he was very involved with those kind of things. He was a happy child,
Hmm.
and some of the ways that she even talks about him whenever he came back is kind of weird, because she never refers to him as her son. She refers to him as either Riker, he, or it. And I think that's really weird for a mother to describe her child like that. Now, we all know that there's a lot of women out there that are not good mothers. There's a lot of men out there that ain't good dads.
Hmm.
But if you look at her before she lost her son and when she found him, they were a really close, fun family. But she has, and I don't think she's distancing herself from him because she doesn't care about him or she doesn't love him. I believe that she honestly thinks this is not Riker.
Yeah, there's something different.
Yes, this is not my son, because she even made the comment, and this is the day they found him. Okay, he was gone for 2 days, so 48 hours, let's say. When they brought him back, she said in the back of the ambulance, "That's not my son." And of course, they chopped it up to that the mother was in shock and he was in shock. He hadn't had food or water. But see, they contradicted themselves, and I caught this because they said whenever they evaluated him that he was in good shape. He wasn't dehydrated. He wasn't malnutrition. He did not have hypothermia. They said he was in good health, right? Well,
Right.
then they start saying, well, it was because he didn't have nothing to drink. He didn't have nothing to eat. He was cold. So now what they're doing is they're trying to, it's kind of like a movie. They're foreshadowing. They're Law enforcement is taught to do that. They're taught to help make you see their agenda, if that makes sense. Kind of like you got two police officers arresting a guy, and the guy is, not resisting arrest. Well, you're taught in school to say out loud, "Stop resisting." And the reason you do that is because by you saying that, the bystanders that are standing around, they will most of the time say that person was resisting. Just because you're a power of authority in a uniform, people follow that. They don't question it.
Right.
And that's a problem. I think that's a big problem. But yeah, they started blaming it on he had nothing to drink and all that. But you can't say that whenever you say that he was in good condition, whenever they said he was in perfect condition.
Yeah.
So it makes you say, which one was it? Hello, Wolf
Well,
Lady. Good to
and
see you tonight. Glad you're there.
the people the people that found him in their shed, they didn't say they changed his clothes or any of that either.
Well, there was some weird things about the shed that I thought was really weird. If you notice, no, Susan, they said he wasn't dehydrated. The doctor said that whenever he arrived at the hospital that he was in perfect condition. Uh, I lost my train of thought. Oh,
About the
there's
shed.
a yeah. Some people are calling this a shed. Some people are calling it a house. It depends on the report you read. There's a lot of discrepancies, and to me, there's a huge difference between a shed with a generator in it and a house.
Yeah.
I don't think those are close to each other. Uh, what Lily said, maybe she is picking up on the difference empathetically, like she can feel his soul has changed somehow. Yeah, there's
Hmm.
definitely Lily something changed. There's they talk about, and we talked about this I think a couple of weeks ago. It was about the Fae. They said that they would parents would lose their child, and then they would go to the woods looking for him, and they would find a baby, and then they would bring the baby home, and they would try to raise the baby, and the baby would grow faster than it should. It would start to not look as human, and then eventually it would end up killing the parents. And then after it killed the parents, it would disappear, and then later on it would happen to another family.
Right.
Uh, Lori says a person just does not change his or her looks. If you're missing for weeks at a time, you may be near death, but you do not change in your appearance.
You
Yeah,
know, that reminded me, I can't remember what celebrity it was, but this has been years ago. They decided to parachute. They were jumping out of a plane with an instructor, and by the time that they landed, I mean that I believe it was a guy. His eyes were completely huge because it just, I guess it scared him so bad that was strange. That's the only other time I've ever seen somebody's eyes do that. But that's probably been 25, 30 years ago.
right. Yes, Sister Christ, that is really weird. I think what you're talking about, actually, Brooks, I think is in the video I have to show tonight. They were
Okay.
talking about the look that he had, and that look only happens whenever somebody experiences a very terrifying event, and they
Right.
show some adults that have witnessed terrifying events and their facial expressions,
Right.
and I thought it was pretty weird. Hello, Carolyn Rivera. Good to see you. Yep, we're not excusing you now. You're late. You're tardy. You're going to have to make it up to us now. Uh, yeah, it was. I in the back of the ambulance. Whenever I compared his face to the face of before he went missing,
Hmm.
I think his teeth are different.
Hmm.
His eyes are different. His hairline looks different to me. Uh, I think the hair might be a little different in color. Um, I seen some differences. Uh, yeah, Scott's right. They took his blood at the hospital, and they said that the DNA that came back was different than the DNA they had on file from his family doctor. So, but they said it was. it was still Riker's DNA, but it was changed.
Hmm.
His DNA somehow was changed. So it was still his DNA, but it was corrupted. What does that
Hmm.
sound like?
Yeah, not good.
So I mean, it even makes you start wondering: did he go into the woods and get lost into the woods, or did he go somewhere else? And was he brought back?
Yeah, and then what gets me is the brother did a video and asked him, "What did you see?" Now how come his brother noticed the difference too? The brother noticed something because why would the brother even ask him that?
Right, right. And Roman says there's something behind that child's eyes that does not look human. You know,
Hmm.
I used to get stumped when I was watching the 411 videos, and they would say that they had hello Rosie Rose, they and Demos, is that right? Is here? I think I said
Demo,
he's right, or
yeah, Dem-
Demos or Demos, Demo.
Demos.
I'll get it right here in a minute. Uh, I used to always wonder if they had all these huge search parties and they look over and over and over and over and over and they never found the child. And then all of a sudden
Mhm.
they find the child in an area that they have searched two or three times.
Right.
And if you know how search and rescue works, they work in a grid.
Yeah.
And what they do is they use rope and they make squares and they search each square foot of these grids. So they leave nothing unturned. So
Right.
I got to thinking, how in the world does that happen? And this is just a theory that I've came up with. Just what if they're not in the woods? What if they're above and they're brought back down and placed back
Yeah,
their their bodies?
that's possible.
Because that was the only way I could think. Or maybe what if they're taken below and then brought back up?
Right. Well, we know. I mean, if it's cryptid related, we know those cryptids are fast,
Right,
so they could have taken them 10 miles the other way and then brought them back, and that's nothing for them to move.
right. Uh, I think that's really weird. And then listen to this. It's going to get even weirder. This really gets weird. Uh, let's see. The parents said that Riker was playing with his dog, and it was said that Riker started hearing a noise, is what Riker had said during questioning. He heard a noise in the woods that lured him into the woods to see what it was, and he said the noise told him to go for a walk with it. When he went for a walk with the noise, him and his dog, he said, got lost.
Hmm.
The dog is not never mentioned if it was found or if it came back. And I know people's going to think I'm weird for that, but I'm really curious to know if that dog came back.
Yeah.
Uh, that would be one of the things I would want to know. The only picture that I could find that had anything to do with the dog coming back is they had a picture of a police bloodhound sniffing the dog's leash and collar. So I'm
Hmm.
assuming the dog was never found.
Hmm.
And to me, that's weird. Uh, Now Riker was gone for 48 hours. So I was looking in the search and rescue grid, and they say a child 5 years old to 10 years old that is lost on average will only travel at most a half a mile a day. And the reason for that
Right.
being is a right-handed person that is lost will walk in a right-handed circle. A left-handed person will veer to a left-handed circle, because whenever you're lost in the woods, you become disoriented and you will follow either your right or your left hand, depending if you're right or left-handed. They say that they take that into consideration a lot when they do a search and rescue, if the person was right or left-handed, at how they grit it. He was found almost 2.5 miles from their home through heavy terrain, briars, thick brush, swamps, ponds, waterways, bears, bobcats, and mountain lions, and
And
snakes.
thunderstorms. Yeah.
Thunderstorms down in the 40s, hypothermia conditions, and this kid was found completely okay. And if you look at him, I think it looks like he's got a little blood under his nose, maybe. But
Mm.
to travel in those kind of conditions, and you look at him, he's really not that hurt. Now I noticed it on the bottom of his pajamas he's wearing, or I guess some people call them a onesie. They are, the feet of them is worn, but not what you. They're not dirty enough for me, because if it rained and he's walking in the mud, his pajamas around his, you know how little kids around their feet, it should be just muddy and nasty,
Yeah.
and it's not muddy and nasty. And you think about it, 2.5 miles for a little feller like that through all that terrain, and not falling in a pond, not drowning in a creek, not getting bit by a snake, or a mountain lion
Hmm.
or something eating him. I think he was with something. I think he was protected. Either I hate to use the word protected, but I think he was with something that kept the other predators from taking advantage of him. We'll put it
Right.
that way, because I do think something terrible did happen to him. I don't believe whatever he was with was good to him. I think something traumatic happened to him, and we're probably never going to know.
No.
Uh, it said his parents even thought when they first brought him back that it was not their child. They even tried to return him. Both parents, not just one parent, both parents tried to return him.
Wow.
So if you think about it, you're going to know your child. I mean, I would know my child.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something really weird going on for them to say, "This ain't our child. We want you to take him."
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Sharon Guy says she would take him to the doctor and see if he has a chip in his body.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Sharon. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I think so too, Lily. I think he was either up or in between. I think he was. It's scary when you think about a 3-year old. What did he experience and what did he see?
Hmm. I
He
mean,
you can.
a kid's not going to have that kind of look on his face just being lost in the woods. I'm sorry. I mean, I really don't see a kid being with that expression that traumatized.
Right. And he was, well, it believe it or not, guys, it gets weirder as we go. Little Riker, I think when we get done with this tonight, we'll take a poll at the end of this. Remind me to take a poll, and we'll see if everybody thinks Riker is the same child that went into the woods that came out. And then I'll give my opinion at the end, and you can give your opinion, and we'll see if we, because it gets really weird. Riker was questioned at the hospital by men in suits. One of the questions that Riker answered whenever he was asked, "What did you see in the woods?" He said, I seen a house with someone in it. That's that's all it was released about that. But he says he's seen a house with someone in it.
Mm.
Now he's 3 years old, so you know he's probably not going to give the best explanation. Like I seen this person, they took me to the house. He's just going to remember remnants of certain things that happened. But he said he was in a house. He doesn't mention a little shed. He says he was in a house.
Yeah.
And then he made the comment. Now, this is where it's going to start getting kind of weird. And I'll get your all's opinion on this because I'm not even going to touch this until I hear what y'all think because this goes a little beyond my comfort zone. Riker said him and this someone flew around in the clouds like Superman for a little while.
Huh. Interesting. Hmm.
What do you think about that?
It sounds like an abduction, but not of the humankind.
And not from the kind that come from other planets either.
Right.
Not the green kind, I guess we should say.
Right.
They may come from other planets, but do you think I'm going to step out there? I guess I'll pose it as a question. Do you think it's plausible that a corrupted Nephilim demon, cryptid, took him and something was done to him that changed his DNA? An experiment, or they might have took something from him, mixed something with him? Do you believe that's possible?
That's possible. Because I tell you what, I've got three. Well, I've got six grandkids. But if any one of those kids, being that age, would have been out in the woods, they would be screaming.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They would be screaming and crying. There's no way that they couldn't be heard.
yep. And a kid in the woods from I hunt. I love to hunt. I have all my life. A kid in the woods that's going to be scared and crying is going
Yeah,
to bring predators in. He would have been
yeah,
8 because when you use a predator call, you always use something in distress,
yeah,
and that brings every predator around.
right.
Uh, Now here's the second part of this, and you'll know this is unusual for me to step out this way because usually this is not where I go with things. But sometimes the evidence doesn't take you where you're comfortable. Uh, if he was taken by a cryptid and they either took DNA from him, uh, mixed some. I would say they mixed something with him because they said it was still his DNA at the doctor's office, but his DNA had been changed, and they said that our DNA does not change. So something caused his DNA to change. One thing
Mhm.
I know that does cause DNA to change is to be around. I went blank. Uh, Radiation. It can cause changes in the DNA. It doesn't make you not you, but it can cause changes in the DNA.
Yeah, that does. That affects your whole body. Radiation does. Yeah.
And if you watch Skinwalker Ranch, they have learned that the higher up you go, the more radiation your body is subjected to.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he says he was flying like Superman. So some of those things. Now, I'm not saying this happened. I'm just throwing stuff out there for you guys to think about, because this is really out of my comfort zone. Because I was taught when I was an investigator that we go by physical evidence.
Mhm.
And in the cryptic world, we can't really apply those techniques because we don't have bodies or DNA or, anything to compare to. So we kind of have to go by, you know, what we believe to be the truth. And that's why there's no experts, because we don't know. We're still in the process of trying to figure out what it is. But okay, let's say that he was taken by something, and let's say, let's see, Sig says DNA changed with the friendly shot, safe and effective. My ass. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, yep. I
Mhm.
understand that. What is it? I think it's weird, but speculation makes it worse. Yeah, but we really don't have an option in this field but to speculate, because we don't really have anything concrete in this field. That's the problem. Uh, I mean, the government and higher ups, they may or may not have bodies. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say they do if I don't know. That wouldn't be a
Yeah.
very good investigator to do that. But
No.
if they do, then they have a better chance at solving it than we do, because they have a base. My base is, I'm a Christian, and I go off of what I believe happened and my belief. I base everything on the Bible. I that's my platform that I go out from, because to me the Bible's the truth, and I take
100%.
I take the truth and expand out from there. Uh, Now, if something, let's say, did taking, that's where it puts me in. They were found with some radiation on them, also pummeled. Yeah, yeah, I remember that, Susan. That's true. That's really weird too. Yeah, you're right. And that's right, Sharon. The DNA change isn't speculation. We know that really did happen. The doctors confirmed that his
Right.
DNA was, and it wasn't like it was a long period of time that his DNA was changed. I mean, this all happened in 48 hours.
Right.
That's relatively fast. I mean, for something that traumatic to happen, that big.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
and you're right, Lori.
and,
What she said.
Lori, how do you know the government is not involved in this? You don't.
Yeah,
And
you don't.
I would venture to say that if they're not, then they know what is doing it.
Yeah.
That's a guess.
Yeah.
Uh, have to be careful. That's an opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely an opinion.
Uh, yep, Brittany. That I would say that that's a good, plausible opinion.
Yep. Mhm.
uh, okay, so let's say that that's what happened. We'll play that game, and let's say that he was abducted. His DNA, for whatever reason, was changed. What we have learned over time is people that have experienced abductions are usually abducted again.
Mhm.
So does that mean whatever was done to him, are they going to pick him up now at another time? Was it an experiment they done on him? Are they watching him? Do they want him back? I mean, there's a lot of questions,
Mhm.
and maybe that's why the mom and dad don't want him, is because maybe, and I'm saying maybe, the people that was in the suits that day told them more than what we know, and they're like, man, I don't want to be part of this.
Mhm.
Let's see. She says, in that short span of time, wouldn't you think he would keep changing? That's a drastic change in 48 hours. Well, a change in your DNA from what I was understanding by reading it, and I am not a doctor on this. It doesn't really cause a physical change in your body. It
Mm-mm.
changes more of the chemistry of your body.
Yeah,
Uh,
cellular. Yeah.
yeah, it has to be a really huge change in your DNA to start changing your actual body. Uh, which I
And
think that's where you either have to gain or lose chromosomes, and
yeah, and
that
I don't think that's very possible that I'm aware of or heard of that you given something that actually changes your fingers or makes your fingers grow or makes your body do something really weird. I've never heard of that.
now here's another weird thing. It's going to blow everybody's mind, and this is what really started freaking me out. While Riker was in the hospital, now this is all just spec. This is what I found on the internet. While Riker was in the hospital, he was observed by the men in the suits and the parents, and this is probably what freaked the parents out a little bit. While they were in the hospital, he was observed speaking in another language that none of them were familiar with.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Frida says, then why would they need to question him? Why not just leave it to the local authorities if they know what's going on? Doesn't seem to add up for me. Well, yeah, the local authorities, they're going to be left in the dark a lot like we are, because your local authorities are usually what they call the good old boys, because the sheriff gets off work at night, the deputies get off work, they go have a beer at the bar with everybody and they talk.
Hmm.
For instance, there was I'm not going to say where this happened, but there was a game warden that had witnessed something that he was not supposed to witness, and he kept talking about it. And he was told to stop talking about it. And I know this factually. And he committed suicide.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, they're and the DNA may not keep changing, because if he was removed from what was causing the DNA to change, that would, like, taking him out of the radiation, or they're not giving him something, or what they gave him. There's I think that stuff would be a good question for Melba Ketchum, but I doubt you're going to get her to talk about it anymore. Uh, something I think happened there, and it's probably better that we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not
True.
sure that I do want. I don't know that I want to know. Yeah, Sister in Christ says, she even says, I couldn't sleep at night with him in my home.
Right.
And then you have to ask yourself, do you have to look at why the parents now are saying, that's not my child. I don't want him. I want you to take him. And if you go back and you look at everything, he looks different. He
Hmm.
has lost his happiness.
Hmm.
And now, okay, so now we have, he looks different. He's lost his happiness. His DNA has changed. And now he's speaking in a language that nobody knows. Here's another part. This,
Wasn't
go
there
ahead,
a
and then I'll
little
say it.
wasn't there a little girl that she got lost and came back and the parents said it wasn't her? There was a little girl too
Well,
at
I didn't
some
hear.
time or another. And I think they ended up giving her up for adoption. They said it wasn't their kid.
Wow. We'll have to
Hmm.
look into that. Frida says, but why observe and question the child if they know what's going on? It draws attention to the fact that they're indeed in the dark somewhat. Um, I think a lot of the reasons they do that is they reprogram the children. They get in there and they tell them, this isn't what you saw, this is what you've seen. Uh,
Hmm.
the parents are now. This is opinions. This are offered, I believe, certain things to keep quiet, money, houses. I have a feeling that happened in the case I covered. I don't even want to really say the name on that case because I'm getting really deep and blaming organizations that don't like to be talked about. But I believe that it happens, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe that that's why they're there. Because I would think that if it happened, our our people, I'm going to say our people, would be just as interested in what happened to him and what's happening to him as the ones that done this to him. Because remember, we're always trying to get information and to have more technology than everybody else. So where do we get a lot of that technology? Well, there was, in my belief, what I believe, there was a fallen angel, a watcher, if you will, that gave us the technology to make things of war, to make things we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of our stuff, I believe, comes from. And that's
Yeah,
why that stuff is studied and it's controlled.
I agree.
And I know that talking about it that deep can get you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, Here's another oddity about him. Whenever he came back, Riker started like to eat things that he hated. He was craving foods that he never liked. He was drinking beverages that he did not like. And the
Hmm.
things that he did like, he doesn't like now.
Hmm.
And here's the weird thing. One of the weird things is he prefers raw meat over cooked meat.
Hmm.
He would rather have it says the meat bloody than the meat cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awful. I mean, a kid at that age wouldn't. I don't know. Wouldn't eat raw meat.
Right. Yeah, Sharon, that's what I said. She said, "Oh my God, Mike, I seen you just said that." And
Yeah.
sister in Christ, she says because it's not the same kid. No other
Mm-hmm.
explanation, in my opinion. Was about to say, Mike. Betty eats animals and weird stuff now. Wow, thought it was stretching. No, they said his whole, it's like a whole different child came back. And another thing they said that he done is he used to call his mom and dad mommy and dad. Now he addresses them by first and last name.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could have that child sleeping in my house either. I mean, it really kind of
Yeah.
bothers me.
You'd be definitely taking him to see somebody for sure.
The preacher.
Somebody.
I mean,
I mean, that's like having a kid that loves chocolate milk. I mean, they can't live without the chocolate. That's my three grandsons. They love chocolate milk. I mean, they
right.
have to have it. And all of a sudden, no, I don't
But
like chocolate milk. What?
but you don't but
What?
you don't want to go in their bedroom though, and they're sitting in the middle of the bed with their head spinning, puking chocolate milk all over the room. I mean,
uh,
you know, so when I first started reading all this, I kind of like angry at the parents at first because I was like, they don't want their child, and things started going through my mind. Maybe they were trying to get rid of their child. Maybe they was hoping he would die. They didn't want him. That it was going to turn into this huge neglect thing. They didn't. But as I start reading the differences in this child and the things that he was doing and saying and eating and talking, and
mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be creepy for sure.
I mean,
I
I don't
mean,
even know.
I, I as a parent would be questioning it big
Yeah,
time.
So here's a question for you. And I'll let everybody in the chat wonder on this too. And this popped into my mind today. And it kind of freaks me out. I ain't going to lie. This stuff really kind of bothered me. It did today. It makes me have an eerie feeling. I don't like that feeling, but is this how the black-eyed children are made? God, I hope not. But
I don't know.
Because they always say that they come back to their family. They always come back.
But his eyes weren't black. But I mean, if it's what we think of,
I'm glad
I mean,
you said
we know that they're messing with the DNA, and because that's God's creation. Okay, and we know through the thousands of years they've been here that they're trying to get them to look more like us. And they're trying to integrate them, and they just omitted the black eyes.
Well,
they figured out how to get rid of the black eyes. I don't know. Just a thought.
Well, I thought I was crazy today too. Because when you look at the video that I'm going to play, if you look at his eyes, they look like the lizard eyes.
Oh.
He's got the slits. To me, it looked that way to me. And that was whenever I started wondering, is this how the black-eyed children? And then when I started looking into the black-eyed children, I'm a believer that in everything that we watch, there's a little bit of truth.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, there's a little truth. And if you remember in Pet Cemetery, what they said, they always come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's been people speculate that the black-eyed children, the reason they come back too is because they're trying to exist in a world that they were familiar with that they no longer belong to.
So were the black-eyed children maybe the children that have been disappeared?
That's what I was thinking. Are they the children that disappear that are whatever's done to them, and then they're brought back, and then maybe some of them aren't brought back. Maybe some of them are dumped in a woods somewhere else, and then they just come into town and try to get rides, and I don't know. That's scary though. It's scary as hell.
It's speculation, all speculation.
Yeah,
but it makes your brain work.
Yeah, because I mean, if that's true, imagine a parent out there that would lose their child in an abduction, and then 5 years later it's knocking on your door.
Right.
Hello, John P. Adventures. It's good to see you. I'm going to play a video for y'all to look at. And look at his eyes when I play. I'm not trying to make anybody crazy or whatever, and his eyes may not even be that way. It may just be me. So let me know what you all think. It may be me. I may be crazier than what I think I am. I don't know. But let's see. Let me see if I find it. Here we go.
I got lost.
Hold on. This one.
About what happened. Riker, you got lost. What do you see?
Pero lo encontraron con ropa diferente a la que traía cuando se perdió.
He was last seen on Friday playing with his dad. Ryker was 2.4 miles away.
El Ryker antes de la desaparición y el Ryker después de la desaparición son personas totalmente diferentes.
What do you see?
I see a house.
A house in the woods?
Yeah. Someone came.
Yeah. Pretty creepy.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, he just I don't know. Something he was terrified, or it's a different kid. That the eyes on that kid, even with him being out for 2 days, he's not going to be shell shocked like that.
Right. And did you notice he was in the house, and they said another one of the changes that he's done since he's came back is he always wants to wear a hoodie. He always wants to wear a hoodie.
And what?
Yeah.
Where's hoodies?
And what is that?
Yeah, black-eyed
Right.
kids always have on a hoodie, don't they? Wow.
Right. And they said he always wants to wear a hoodie.
Huh.
Lori says, it's not the same child. Here's something I thought. Now this made the hair on the back of my neck stand up whenever I read this. The mom had went over to a friend's house, right? She had Ryker in the back seat of her car. The windows were up. The air conditioner was on because it was a hot day. She said she was standing probably 30, 40 yards from the car. She was talking to her friend, telling her friend that was not her child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she was having a pretty in-depth conversation about him, how she didn't want him. I guess pretty much, she didn't want him. And she happened to look at the car, and whenever she looked at the car, she said he was staring at her with like a mad look, and he pointed at her and went like this. Like he could hear her and said, "Shame on you," from that far away.
Wow. Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, that bothered me when I read that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to have, I about said what they said. I just about said, I'm not going to have that thing sleeping in my house either. I mean,
kind of like your dog walking around.
Yeah, I mean, give him to the neighbor, I guess. I don't know. It's just
yeah, I know. What do you do? What do you? Yeah, you. Yeah, you do.
I mean, you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you have to wonder this. Not only are you and your husband and everybody safe, is your other kids safe around him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, his little brother and stuff like that. Are they safe around him?
Yeah, if you suspected something was totally different about your child, you'd keep an eye on them. I mean, I've heard of people that had mentally unstable children that they would lock themselves in their room at night so he wouldn't sneak up on them, that the kids wouldn't sneak up on them. I don't know.
Here's the other part. If a lot of y'all watch my videos, you're going to know exactly what I thought whenever you hear me tell you about this. This, again, is where I told y'all it gets really weird and it really messed with me. He goes to the door. They have a storm door, it's got the glass and all on it. And he catches and eats flies.
Okay, that sounds more like your reptilian thing.
This can't be the same kid.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
They said that he also takes food from the kitchen and he stores it under the bed. He prefers to sleep under the bed at night. He doesn't prefer to sleep in his bed. He sleeps under the bed with his food and everything. He likes to wear his hoodie whenever he goes to the bathroom. They said he will turn the water on in the bathtub while he uses the restroom. And then when he's done, he turns the water off in the bathtub. I don't know what that would mean, what that would signify or anything. But
Well, I know that some people have to turn on the water to help them eliminate, to urinate.
Right.
I don't know.
And they said, and this may be just normal stuff, but they said that while the mom and dad are asleep, that they hear him at their door of their bedroom. He sits outside of their door a lot. Just, I don't know. That, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What would you do? I mean, seriously, if I put myself in that situation, that's creepy. I'd call LA, LA Marzulli.
I guarantee he would have the answer.
Yeah, I'd be calling somebody like that. I would.
That's just.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And then Silver Bullet says, even if he's the same child, he needs some really good professional help.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's beyond. I don't know that he could ever be the same again. I mean, if he changed that much in 48 hours, that much.
That's crazy.
And then you have to think about if something done that to him within 48 hours, it would have had to have done it fast, because if it was trying to hide with him, plus do whatever happened, whatever it done, it couldn't have been running with him the whole time trying to hide him. I mean, it would have had to have got him and had whatever it was going to do set up and had him there.
Yeah.
So whatever this was probably watching him the whole time. I wonder if it had, right, the whole time it was already planning on getting him.
Right.
Man, I would like to be able to talk to them.
Oh, they're not going to give any interviews. You can bet on that.
I have so many questions because I would like to know, was there anything weird happening, up until he went missing? Like, did anything change? Was there different noises? Was he acting different? Did he come up with an imaginary friend, or, Man,
See, and that's a good point. Have you started having paranormal activity around your house?
right.
You know,
You
or
know,
things moving? Yeah. Hmm.
did he start eating different, before he ended up, or did it all happen? Because I guarantee you there was some things that started happening before he was taken. I just feel like there had to be something different going on.
Yeah.
Because and then you have to wonder what would make him a target. Is there certain things about him? Was it because he has red hair? Because we know that red hair is rare,
Right.
uh,
And the blue eyes.
right? That's a rarity.
Hmm.
Uh, and if you really want to go deep with it, German German scientists in Antarctica,
Uh-huh.
blue eyes and fair skin.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
the anonymous nurse that was in the room, this is what she reported. She's probably not going to be around much longer. I don't know. She may take a vacation or something. But she said, this is what she said. The men in suits were in the hospital with Riker the whole time, an anonymous nurse reported. During that time, he was fed undercooked meats, which were approved by the men in the suits. He was also allowed to play with wooden toys. He wanted to play with wooden toys, blocks in particular, to where he was making things. Okay? He loved, for some reason, to start doing that. And he was given a series of shots by the men in the suits that the hospital did not regulate or know what they was.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. Man. Have men in suits supposedly giving your kid shots.
And
Man.
this is allegedly. This is all.
Allegedly.
This is allegedly.
Well, and I'm sure if they did it, the parents didn't know either. She just happened to catch them doing it.
Right. Yeah, sister in Christ. Yeah, that would be the same thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want that little critter in my house either. I mean,
Well, you'd have to make dang sure that wasn't your kid. You know what I mean?
yeah, because because then you got that piece of you that loves your child no matter what, and if it was your child, you don't want to abandon him. I mean, that would be a hard struggle.
Right. Yeah. And then if you did put him up for adoption, I mean, people would think you were terrible.
Or they would file charges on you for abandonment.
Right.
And put you in prison the rest of your life to shut you up so you didn't talk about it.
Right.
Allegedly.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I make sure I get those words in there. See, Lori says let the men in black take him, but that's the problem. It seems like they don't want the people when this happens to them. They just want to regulate it for some reason. And I wonder, this is another theory, guys, just a theory, is the reason they do that to see how whatever came back can acclimate to a family environment.
Right.
And that's scary as hell to think about that. Or they're trying to see how, yeah, exactly like Lily Lewis said, to observe and see how well it's able to adapt and to fit in, and can it actually trick the parents and make them think that's really their child.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying this happened. I'm just theoretically talking. Theoretically. What if it's a clone?
Right.
And let's go even deeper. Let's say what? Oh man, this is really, really, really scary. But what if he is a? What if he's a suit like we talked about
Right.
for the Nephilim, a
Right.
bodysuit?
Right. An
You're
avatar.
yeah, and if it is, you're actually letting a demon into your house.
Gosh, and that would be your 3-year-old kid. That would be the ultimate nightmare.
But is it really your child, or was your child? Oh shit! I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I'm going to say it. But was your child? Let's say, make sure I say this right so we don't get unmonetized. Is your child maybe unalived? And the reason the clone came back as a different DNA isn't because your child's DNA was messed up, but because what came back was a product of your child with its DNA and your child's DNA. And that's how they get it to look like your child, but not exactly, and not the same tastes and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. There's a bunch of scenarios.
And that's sick if that's what
Yeah.
they're doing. I mean, that's sadistic. I'm going to show y'all something that's really creepy. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and play it for y'all. This is, I think, creepy.
I got lost in the forest when I was 3 years old and was forever changed. Hello, my name is Riker Webb. In 2022 I was playing with my dog in my yard in Montana when I heard a strange sound luring me into the forest. It didn't take long for me to get lost, and after a couple hours my parents noticed I was gone. They started sending search parties to look for me. I walked 2.5 miles before I found an abandoned shed to hide in from the thunderstorms. But there was someone hiding with me. After 2 days, I was found by a nearby couple who heard some weird sounds coming from their shed. But when they found me, I wasn't the same. The clothes I was wearing when I went missing were completely different than I was found in. And after being through such a traumatic experience, and going without food or water for 2 days, I looked like a completely different person. But this is all because
Yeah. That's creepy. That's creepy.
Now, I want to see if you all noticed the same thing I noticed. Did you notice the eyes in both videos are either black or they're slanted? So I'm not the only one that noticed there's something off with his eyes. Because
Right.
even the person that done this AI child, they done the black eyes and the slit eyes. Did everybody notice that? Did you all notice that from the first video to the second video?
Right.
Because the first video is actually Riker, and you can notice that his eyes look slit. And then the avatar in the video we just watched, the AI, his eyes are made different. It's like they're trying to tell us, look at the eyes. They're black. They're long.
Right.
People are noticing that this child has went through a change.
Right. Everybody noticed that. And then too, it said the kid was gone for 2 hours. A 3-year-old kid is gone for 2 hours before the parents notice it.
Yeah, 2 hours before they turned it in. I think that's a little long too.
I mean, a 3-year-old, you got to watch them all the time.
I mean, at the end of the day, we know that the parents have been kept anonymous and they're in police custody. They're in protective custody. We do know that the family is in police custody, protective custody. We know that the parents' names have been kept confidential and anonymous. the information that we have is all theoretical. It's all, it's not proven. It's not, a proven apathy.
Speculation.
Yeah, there's no proof. Uh, you have, I guess, what you would call a whistleblower in the nurse, that was given information that she probably. I'm not going to say that she shouldn't have gave it, because I think that we as a people have the right to know, but I think that she put herself in a bad spot by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Took a lot of guts to do that, because I'm pretty sure that they probably know who she is, because I'm sure that if it was such a big deal, they probably had a sheet of everybody that had contact with him. It was probably pretty secure.
Do we know for sure it was a she nurse or a he nurse?
It doesn't say. I just assumed a female.
Yeah. So say it could have been a
But
male
yeah.
nurse. There's lots of male nurses as well.
So that's interesting. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens, if we ever know, to Ryker and his family in the future. We're probably not going to know. I would say that we wouldn't know.
Michelle McGuire says it was an it nurse.
Yeah. From the Golden Bear.
Well,
It was just it makes you wonder about all the other children now that are going missing. And one of my questions would be is, why do some children, not just children but adults also, why do some show up alive and why do some perish? What happens? Is it because maybe some don't survive the tests that are put on them, maybe? Or I don't know.
I don't know either. It's weird.
It seems that the children are the target. Invoke love, banish hate. Good to see you. I don't think I've ever seen her. Glad to have you.
Oh yeah, and thank you for becoming a member.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. It makes you wonder what is this kid going to be when he gets older? Is he going to change as he ages? Is he going to look normal? Is his eyes going to get fixed? Because to me, his eyes, they look really. Mom thinks they look empty.
That's true. He's going to be that kid. I don't know if you've ever seen the video where this guy's walking his dog or something, and he comes around the corner and there's a woman and a little boy or a girl. I think it's a little girl. The little girl's floating up in the air, and then they see him and she comes down and they run off. That's weird.
She says, I love your channel. I became a member more than probably a year ago. Okay. But we sure appreciate having you here with us tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Good night, Lily Lewis. It was good to have you with us tonight. You had a lot of good insight and a lot of good comments. I mean, I'm still trying to figure this. I just know, and I keep asking myself in my mind, and when I was looking at it today, what do you do if that's your child? I mean, how do you?
Yeah.
Do you lock them in their room at night to make sure they don't get out and get you in your sleep?
I'm calling LA. I'm calling LA Marzulli.
We could send it to Scott's house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It'd probably be more corrupt than it was. It just, yeah, he'd be feeding it raw meat on a stick. It just.
You're right, Sharon. God says not to harm the children. He loves the children. They'll pay for messing with the children. That's right. That's in all aspects of this life.
Yeah, I think that we should keep the family in our prayers.
Yeah.
especially Riker. We need to keep him in our prayers also. But whenever I seen all this coming in tonight, when I found it, and I got some emails from people that were sending me this information, I just thought, this is really scary. Yeah, Romans, I know that movie. I want to see it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the preview.
I love that. They live. Yeah.
Susan says it's biblical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're taking the children and they're sending them back. Kind of makes you wonder about all these places, all these kids that people are seeing on the side of the road, these black-eyed children knocking on doors. And
now, didn't they say in Maui when they had those fires that a few buses of children disappeared?
Yeah, there was train containers of children that went missing.
Well, I know they had buses too that disappeared.
One guy was actually filming. They don't know if it was a military, but it was military choppers carrying train containers full of children flying with them that ended up missing. And then the guy that filmed it ended up missing.
Right.
There's Teresa Crone. She says, been watching you on YouTube on my TV, but had to join the chat. Hi from Cincinnati. Hey, good to have you. Glad you joined the chat.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Scott, Bone Tomahawk is an excellent movie. I recommend it.
Oh, God, no.
It's a good bedtime story.
No, it's not.
Let's see. She says, my dad had a Bigfoot as a friend. I've heard of that. I've heard of people communicating with Bigfoot. I don't think I would want to, just because how I believe in where they come from. But I have heard of that, and I think, I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of her name, but she's been in contact with one, I think, for almost 15 years, she said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard people that had them in their neighborhood or in their neck of the woods, that their family and the people family were always in contact and shared food and stuff like that.
And the last weird thing that's going on in their house, this was the last one. Whenever he gets upset, like angry or upset or crying or something like that, sometimes the beds, the doors, and the silverware and the plates will shake.
And there we go. There's paranormal activity.
And that is the last weird thing. I mean, not that there's not enough, but...
Yeah, Lisa asked, is there a military nearby where he lived? Military base.
I don't know.
Wasn't that Wyoming?
Montana.
Oh, Montana.
Yeah, he was in Montana, but they never gave the location. It makes you wonder, are they in protective custody for protection from people or protection from the kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe one of those we hear the kid went off to a boarding school.
Right. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. I think that, what do you think? Yeah, I think I agree with Mom. I think that if you feel like it's your child, then you're just going to have to be cautious. And really all you can do is sit back and watch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then too, on the other hand, you got people that are going to think you're absolutely crazy.
Right. Yeah.
You have lost your mind, people. Yeah, that's your kid,
That's true.
Yeah.
She says a doppelganger, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, it all fits. But that's all I've got for y'all tonight, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. I didn't want us to miss it. And I know everybody's probably getting tired. It's getting late. But I wanted to share it with y'all. I do have a good video that we will go out on a good note as we end the night. We're not going to stay with the scary stuff. We'll end it on a good note. But
Ellen's saying good night.
Good night, Ellen. Yeah, I'll let you go ahead if you want to and start leading us out of here. I'm sure everybody's getting tired on a Monday night. They probably have to work tomorrow and stuff. I just wanted to get this out there.
Well, we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your support for the channel. We appreciate it very much. And we love you. Thank you for making Abnormal Investigations what it is, because without y'all, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you, the help and support that you've given us. And I want to thank you for showing up on such short notice on a Monday night. I wanted to share that information with you because I do like to do updates on the things that we do cover. I like to try to stay with them if we don't get answers and try to get answers to things that we don't quite understand. I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all have so many great comments and ideas and things like that they inspire me and give me, things to think about. And, I want to thank y'all for the donations and gifts that y'all have sent to try to reunite my family. I believe that's going to happen really soon. And just can't say enough about you guys. We are a family here, and our family is growing right now. It's growing fast, and we welcome each and every one of the new ones. And we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep doing what we do, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to have a few laughs while we do it. That's the main thing, is for us to have some laughs and enjoy what we do also. So until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one. If you don't mind, smash the like button on your way out, and we'll see you on the next one.
A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.